New Orleans, 1918. The city pulsed with heat and music like a living, breathing entity. Streetcars rattled down St. Charles Avenue, their bells ringing out like a call to the good times. Brass bands poured from smoky bars, filling the air with sounds that made you want to dance. The Mississippi rolled on, fat and sluggish under the southern sun, almost like it was keeping a secret. By night, the French Quarter came alive with jazz, dice games clattering on tables, and the mouth-watering smell of gumbo wafting from crowded kitchens. You could feel the energy, the excitement. It was electric. But that summer, something darker stirred beneath the music, a shadow carrying an axe, lurking in the corners of the vibrant streets, ready to disrupt the rhythm of life. It was a time of celebration, but also a time of fear as the city tried to shake off the weight of an unsettling presence. It began in May, when the cries of a woman tore through the night on Upper Line Street. Neighbors rushed to find Joseph and Catherine Maggio, grocers and Italian immigrants, lying in their bed, throats cut, skulls smashed with an axe. Blood pooled on the floorboards, smeared across the walls. The killer had lingered long enough to drink their whiskey and leave the axe behind, wiped clean. Police arrived baffled. Who could move so silently, kill so brutally, and vanish without trace? Then, in June, came another. Louis Bezumer and his mistress lay in their apartment above his grocery, both struck in the head with an axe as they slept. He survived, but dazed and incoherent. She lingered for weeks before succumbing to her wounds, but not before murmuring that her attacker was a man who hated Italians. Police dragged in suspects, including Bezumer himself, but nothing held. By August, the city knew it wasn't coincidence. Anna Schneider, 8 months pregnant, was attacked in her own home, her scalp split open. She lived. Weeks later, Joseph Romano, another grocer, was found with his skull caved in. His nieces saw a shadowed figure fleeing, tall, broad-shouldered, wearing a slouched hat. Panic swelled. The press dubbed him the Axeman of New Orleans *. The pattern grew sharper. The victims were almost always grocers, most of them Italian immigrants, families who worked long hours and lived above their stores. Doors weren't forced. The killer often slipped through back panels, sometimes removing an entire wooden door with uncanny quiet. He never stole money or valuables, only lives. Always with an axe, often the very one kept by the family for chopping wood. The city turned feverish. Families bolted windows, slept in shifts, clutched pistols through the night. Italian immigrants whispered it was a vendetta, maybe mafia retribution. Others muttered of a madman, a demon even, stalking the night. Then came the letter. In March of 1919, the *Times-Picayune* received a chilling message. Written in elaborate, almost theatrical style, signed by the Axeman. He claimed he was no mere man but a spirit, a demon of hell who thrived on murder, and he gave the city an ultimatum. That on the night of March 19th, he would prowl again, but any house filled with the sound of jazz music would be spared. New Orleans, a city already humming with brass and blues, exploded into music. That Tuesday night, every saloon was packed, every dance hall thrumming. Families who had never touched an instrument hired musicians to play in their parlors, violins and trumpets shrieking into the night. The whole city became one mad orchestra, as if trying to appease some ancient god with rhythm and song. And true to his word, no one was killed that night. The letter cemented his legend. He wasn't just a murderer now, he was folklore. The killings just wouldn't stop. In August 1919, the Cortimiglia family faced a horrifying attack in Gretna, right across the river. Can you imagine the terror? Charles and Rosie somehow survived, but they were left deeply scarred, both physically and emotionally. Tragically, their 2-year-old daughter didn't make it. In a state of shock, Rosie pointed fingers at their neighbors, the Jordans, claiming they were the culprits, but later she took it all back. The Jordans were set free, and just like that, the eerie shadow of the Phantom Axeman loomed larger than ever, leaving the community on edge and filled with fear. It's just heartbreaking, isn't it? The murders continued into 1920, though less frequently, each as savage as the last. Then, just as abruptly as he had appeared, the Axeman was gone, vanished. No more killings with his signature style, no more letters taunting the press, no more shadows slipping through kitchen doors. Who was he? Theories multiplied. Some believed he was a man named Frank Doss, a violent drifter linked to axe assaults in other states. Others pointed to mafia connections, arguing the killings were targeted warnings disguised as random bloodshed. A few leaned into superstition. He was no man at all, but something infernal that fed on fear. The truth was never found. The police had suspects, but evidence dissolved like sugar in coffee. New Orleans moved on, but never forgot. The story of the Axeman still hangs around like a ghost in the vibrant music scene of the city. You can feel it, right? Tour guides share his chilling tale under those beautiful wrought iron balconies of the French Quarter, where history seems to breathe. The old houses, once bustling with grocers and families, now sit empty or have been turned into quirky shops and cafes. But here's the thing, some folks swear they can still hear faint jazz notes drifting through the air when the streets are otherwise quiet, almost like the city itself is remembering that infamous night of music and blood. It's as if the spirit of the Axeman is still lurking, blending with the soulful sounds of the city, creating a haunting melody that keeps his legend alive. Isn't that wild? In the darker corners of New Orleans, where the gas lamps flicker like they're whispering secrets and the air hangs thick with humidity, locals still talk about the Axeman as if he's just around the corner. Picture this. Broad shoulders under a slouched hat, axe in hand, lurking in the shadows, listening for that eerie silence that creeps in at night. Some say he's a ghost, others believe he's just waiting for the right moment to strike again. It's like he's woven into the very fabric of the city, a chilling reminder of the past that keeps everyone on edge. You can almost feel the weight of history in those streets, right? It's a blend of fear and fascination that keeps the legend alive.